Hello, we're gonna make the last section in the file inclusion module. So we're gonna start. The question is, as the web application and use a variety of techniques to gain remote code execution and find a flag in the root directory of the file system. Submit the contents of the flag as your answer. So let's check the link. This is the page. We could go to the About Us page, Industries, or Contact. If you see this after the index PHP, we could see the value page, and it works from every page. Contact, Industries, and About. We have to get the HTML code from the page. There are two ways. One is using curl, and other way is using the web, using the browser. In the sheets, we can see a code, and it's this PHP filter and read, convert base 64 encode resource. This command is to use read PHP with base 64 filter. So copy this and change this value. So now we have to check the source code. Another thing to change is this. We don't look for the config file right now. We wanna view something like index, page about, page industries, page contact. All of this is from the index PHP, and we have to check that code. Index. And if you can see, this is the HTML code, but it's in code. We could use the decoder from Burp Suite. Decode as base 64, and is this. We could check all the info on that file. Here we could see something important. Before the index PHP, there's a directory, and is this. We could copy this, and let's see on the page. Now we find another page that was hidden. Now we could check the chat log, service log, and system log. From here, we could use the fuser to check payloads, and the command is here, the code is here, and it's here, fuse LFI payloads. We could copy that and paste here. You have to check where is your text file. For example, my file is in home, and the file text it's called a.txt, and the word fuse EU is from the server IP, the port, the page, and we have to change that. Copy this, paste, and the index PHP, we have to change this. copy this and paste. It's okay. This is the code to hide or filter some size for some values. We're gonna see this in a few seconds. Let's copy, go to the terminal, paste and check. And what is this? The file that we use contains a lot of payloads to check file inclusion. But you have to take the correct URL, which have to be vulnerable, and then it's like if you make manually a lot of checks. For example, this is all of the payloads that I have in this file. It's like you check one by one all of this. There's a lot of codes. We have to change the value of the filter size is to filter the many codes by the size, many requests by the size. For example, all of this has 2046. We're gonna use that value, and now these values are okay. We're gonna check every single payload from here. For example, we could use this, copy and go to the page. We could paste here and check. Now we could see the password file, and if you remember in the log poisoning from the same module, file inclusion, there's an info from here. You have to find the log file, and let's go to the terminal, and this is the file that we need. We could copy that and check again. Now we could see all of this. As you see, there are many codes, all of the code that we use on the fuse. Now this is the vulnerable path, the vulnerable URL, and let's go to the burp suite. We could close that and navigate to this. Okay, this is the same. Now we could reload the page and send this to the repeater with Control R. Now go to the repeater, and here we could check first. Let's go change this value from example and send a request. Nothing here. Send again, and then you could see example. Now we have to change this value. In the log poisoning, we see this. We saw a code. Here is the file that we could use. Maybe it could different from like this or this. and then we're gonna use a code. We wanna do this. Copy this code, and here are double quotes, but we need single quotes like this, and we have to paste that, single quotes, paste that, single quotes, and we have to add a value here, something like this, something like this. Now we see this, nobody, and if we change this value, we're gonna have another response. This is where is allocated the ILF admin folder. Now if we see the question, the flag is in the root directory. Now we use ls, and then some of these are folders and others are text like this. This is the flag. So let's change that, cat, and paste that. Now we could see the password here. Remember, use the slash before the text file just to search that file from the root. And how Chester said, this is the end.